it's time to start. So today, we're going to talk about teaching English to young and very young learners. And for those who don't know me, don't know us, I would like just to say a few words about myself and then present my colleagues. My name is Iness Bougoin, and I help ESL learners to speak English internationally and sound professional and intelligent. I'm also a teacher trainer and an English school founder. I'm originally from Russia, studied a lot in the States, and I live and work in France in a well-known English-speaking area near Aix-en-Provence. What else? I graduated from 6 universities in 3 different countries, and it's my daily routine to speak 3 languages. Actually, both of my kids are trilingual too. And today, as I told you, we are going to talk about them. I mean, about kids, about teaching English to young and very young learners. Well, and I'm happy to present you my colleagues from Samara, Russia, Yulia Yurygina and Inna Shumkina. We have been united here together to share the results of a special distant language program for ESL learners who are one from 5 up to 5 years old only. And this program took place online, and I'm sure everybody knows the reason for that, the COVID-19 lockdown. But okay, for 1 month, babies and toddlers have taken part in such unique experiences of studying English with the help of the Zoom service. And our own kids actually were among them. We've been watching them for a month, and today we are ready to share with you our observations. All right, now I give the floor to the author of this kids program. I'm sure she's the right person to give us some more details. So please, my colleague, meet your Inna Shumkina.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. I'm so glad that you have a chance just to hear us and you are interested in this subject and you are interested in our experience. And I'm so happy that we have a chance just to share our experiences, share our thoughts. Just first of all, I should say that teaching English in early childhood is just a part of my interests. Actually, I'm a senior lecturer at Samara University, and I've got a PhD in philology, and I'm specialized in communications. And I'm looking at it from different angles. So I'm teaching cross-cultural communication, the theory of communication, mass communication, and so on, so on. So, I've been teaching English for about 7 years, and I started to do it with the adult groups, with the adult group. And I've been teaching adults using Skype or some other internet resources for about 5 years. So to be close to our subject, I would like to say that about 2 years ago, I started a special English Moms course with my 1-year-old son. So, and my main idea to do it is just for me, for myself, and for my kid. And I wanted just to have this kind of community where my son and me can communicate in English and can share their thoughts and feelings in English, not just to know how to learn or to know how to count or how to name any kinds of animals or so on, just to have a kind of communication. So, and this spring, it was our 5th season, and you know that all of us, we faced COVID-19, and we were pushed to continue our fifth season using online resources. So actually, and now I would like to share some of my ideas about it, some of my thoughts, and I've got three of them. Just firstly, I should say that it's absolutely real to do with babies and toddlers. I should say that our youngest participant was 1 year old and a half, and the eldest one was 5 years old. So just despite moms, of course. So, and we were in 5 cities. It's because some of our moms who live in Samara, they prefer just to go out of the city to the countryside, to the Dutchess, so on. But they had a chance just to continue our meetings, and we used Zoom and Skype to unite us. So, and our main result that we saved the atmosphere of our meetings, we saved our day-to-day communication, and in the way that we had it offline. Of course, you can use different techniques, you can use different methods how to teach English online, but for me, and actually it was even in the beginning when I started to do, the first priority is communication. Yeah, and that was the main point, that was the main doubt, how to do it, how to say this communication. Yeah, when you are online, when you are in front of the computer, and even our children, they cannot be stuck to the computer, they are running, crawling, working around you in their ages. So, and that was the main idea, to say this communication. And I should say that that when you have got classes offline, you communicate even physically, and through online you cannot do like that. But for me, the main point just to think that I have got the real people in front of me. And what I mean under this statement, that the real people, and they are surrounded with the real environment. I mean that they are surrounded with the things that they have in their houses, with the toys, with the, I don't know, furniture and so on. So, and it's one of the sources just to talk about. Yeah, and we used to do it, and our children with interests shared their feelings, their ideas, and showed their toys, their books, and talked about the weather and so on, that they can physically feel at the moment. It's one of the main idea. Just we are not just speaking heads on the screen. And it's sometimes it's very hard just to say this feeling. Secondly, that's my second point that I would like to stress. It's about time. We need time to get used to it. No, anyway, you need time to get used to any process. I mean, if you even come to our offline class, you need time to get used to it. And we shouldn't expect any miracle here. Yeah, it's a process, it's a new environment, and you need to have a patient to to get used to it, even you as an adult person, and you need to put some efforts to do it. That's what I mean. So you need to establish ritual. So when I would like to give you an example. When you have an offline class, you have got just a possibility just to walk to the class. Yes, just anywhere. You need to spend any time to get this class. I mean, maybe by bus or by taxi or even on foot. Yeah, and you need to dress you up and then go to the class and spend some time in the taxi, for example. When you need to take off all your clothes and to come into the class. It's about 30 minutes, and I know that some of my moms spent at about 1 hour. Yeah. So, and it's a kind of ritual to child just to switch from one daily routine activity to the other one. But when we've got online, you can do it just with one click. Just in 1 minute you can do it actually. And here you need to put some efforts just to do. You need to establish rituals, and it's your responsibility if you want to have your child attention. So just for example, what I did with my child. So in the morning, of course, I reminded him that today we are having our class, we are having our meeting with children, with your friends, and I'm will be very happy if you help me to do it. Then 30 minutes, 15 minutes before, you remind him again, okay, now in 15 minutes and 30 minutes, we are having our meeting. And what do we need to do it? Okay, we need a computer. Let's put it here. We need these pencils. We need this scarf, or so on, so on. Yes, we need to take, I don't know, just a glass of water or just some fruit. And so on, so on. Just it's like a ritual, and your child gets used to do it, and he understands that, okay, the new meeting is coming, I should be prepared for it, and now I know for what I should be prepared. Yeah, so establish ritual, and do not judge a thing from the first meeting. It's also my recommendation. Yeah. So it's absolutely real. It's my first idea, and the main priority is communication. The second one is time, and you need to establish ritual. And my third idea about computer. Okay, that we are all moms, and we all know about the harm of the computer, and nobody among us wants to stuck our children to the computer. Yeah. And even now, some moms asking me, okay, I don't know about online course because I'm not sure that my child can sit in front of the computer for more than 15 minutes, and your class is 1 hour. What can I do with it? So, guys, nobody expects that your child will sit in front of the computer. I don't need it, really, I don't need it. And we didn't have the situation. What I need your attention, and I need that you prepare for the class. You put your computer in the room, and your child will have a chance just to crawl, to walk around, and you attentively listen to me, and sometimes speak something, and provide all of this to your child. Yeah, you are involved in this communication, and step by step you will involve your child in this communication too. So you are the main provider, and here. And also, I should remind you the main idea about learning language in early childhood, that child can learn language just listening to the adult conversation, not BBC News, not cartoon, just the real communication, and we have this real communication. So that was my third point. I want to be short, and it was great. Just I have a chance just to share it. And now I want to give a floor to one of our mom, Yulia Yurygina, and I hope that she will introduce herself for us. Okay, Yulia, go ahead. Yulia, please switch on your audio.
I got an idea. Yes, I'm sorry. So, hi friends. Thank you, Inna, for introducing a couple of words about me. And now I'd like to tell you my story just in a few words. I started learning English 6 years ago, and as many other people, I came in school in Iness Bougoin with a basic school level. Before I started English in just ordinary school, it was not a perfect one. So, and I decided to learn English. Why did I do it? Because I work in IT sphere, and for this part of business, if you speak English, you have really much more opportunities. So I graduated from the school, and I would say I achieved my aim. Now I can use English for my work, but anyway, I still don't want to stop learning English, because I fell in love with the process, with the atmosphere that we have, and of course with the result. So, and now I'm an instructor in the school in Iness Bougoin. 3 years ago, I became a mother, and at that moment, at that very moment, I started to practice English as an instructor in the school. But pay attention, I started to speak English with my daughter only when she was 1 year and 3 months old. So 1 year and 3 months old, I didn't do it. And if you asked me why it did not happen earlier, I would say because I really didn't know what to start with, how to organize the process, how to motivate myself. And the main point, I didn't know how to understand that I do everything right, because with kids, you don't get reaction immediately, and it's really difficult to understand if everything is okay or not. Do you everything right? You do everything right or not? So, and as you have already guessed, I started to speak English with my daughter after the first lesson of English Moms course. And speaking about the result in general, I can say that I got, firstly, I got answers for all my questions. What to start with, how to organize the process, how to motivate myself, how to understand that you do everything right. And to add to it, I did not expect it, but I really got a great community that gives me courage and inspiration all time. And it's about me, about mommy. But what about my kid? So, what does she get? And I would say she got the same. Now she has a great community, and she can communicate with other kids, with other adult person. And each meeting she immerses in English environment, English culture. And one of the main point, so now she knows that her mommy not only one person in the world who speaks a little bit strange, not like other people. No, she knows that there are other people who speak this language, but I would say who speaks like mommy, like she can do it. And it's interesting for her, it's fun, and I would say now it's a part of her life. So, and I'm really very happy that we have this opportunity. Of course, it's not easy. It requires a lot of efforts from my part, from your part, I believe. But the result is really awesome. And especially in this condition, I mean self-isolation, it's a great opportunity to have communications that we also need. And of course, our kids need it too, maybe even more than we do it. And of course, nobody says that it's easy, just open a laptop and start talking with other people. So, but each of us needs time to be involved in the process, in each process. But when it happens with your child, you really will be surprised. You'll surprise how it is going on. And if we compare in general us and our younger generation, I would say our kids adopt to a new kind of environment faster even than we do it. But of course, it's impossible without our support. So finally, I'd like to give a couple of recommendations for parents who would like their children to speak English. So the earlier you start, then better. And the best option, if you do it from the first days of life, of the life of your child, but from time to time it's impossible. Anyway, it's better late than never. So start do it right now. Don't waste your time. Don't be afraid to start, but be sure that you are ready for it. You are ready to do it for a long time, not for months, half a year. No, you should be ready to do it at least years. Don't expect to get the result immediately, but in general, you should know step by step what the result may be expected, because from time to time our actions should be corrected. And without community, it's impossible, because we are all in different stages, I would say. And somebody has already passed this period, and you can get a lot of useful information that you can't get in any other place. So don't think that your English is not good enough. Really, you have a great opportunity to study English with your child. And it's a kind of great motivation for me. For example, I really do it all the time to learn new vocabulary, songs. So a lot of different materials, really, books. But be sure that everything that you tell is corrected, because if you speak with mistakes, of course, your child will do the same, because you are an example how to do it. It's responsibility. So, and finally, enjoy speaking English with your child. Do it with pleasure. Read favorite books that you really like. Sing the lovely songs that you like, and play different games. So, firstly, enjoy yourself. Enjoy speaking English yourself, and your child do the same, really, because your child feels the same that you feel. So I think that's all from my part. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thank you,
Yulia.
Samara. Yeah, absolutely. That's how to handle that. So, from my part, analyzing the kids' experience during the past months, just the past month actually, I figured out for myself 3 main points to be shared. Maybe some of them are a little bit repetitive, but anyway, the first one is absolutely the structured environment, because the young learners benefit from structured environment. There's no doubt about that. And number one, it's of course community and the importance of community for a successful learning. And finally, I have selected some elements to ensure successful education. And this selection I'm going to talk about just in the end of our online live stream. So let's start with number one. Our young learners benefit from structured environment. What it means. During the lockdown, kids' daily routine has changed. We need to admit it. There is no more need to hurry up in the morning to school, to wake up, or to go to kindergarten. And they feel less in control of themselves and of their emotions in front of their parents who try to teach them at home. With teachers, as we know, kids, they behave themselves a little bit better. Here, children stay at home and day by day, one day is like another, and they might be sad and also frustrated and a bit lost. Unfortunately, that's the reality. And only favorable educational daily routine is essential for their good learning. It helps children to feel connected with each other. And as a result, it lowers possible feelings of anxiety and increases the learning motivation. During that month of April 2020, we had English classes twice a week. So my kids had their educational week routine, and I could tell that it enriched my son's life. Absolutely. Our English classes also helped me to establish and maintain, not only to establish, but also to maintain homeschool routine for my children and to provide some additional meaningful context into the educational actions I needed to take as a mom. So it also became possible because of our learning community. And that's the second point I would like to share. I have already mentioned that kids during this lockdown feel quite isolated in their homes. So it's up to us, parents, to incorporate opportunities for interactions with other kids and sharing. Joan Sheen, that's the author of the Teaching English to Young Learners course in George Mason University, stressed the importance of community for young ESL learning. And learning a language is never, never, never an individual endeavor. Young learners love to share information about their lives, about their daily experiences. That's how they learn language, through meaningful practice and exposure. During that month of April, I constantly saw kids feeling motivated while demonstrating their toys, their books, clothes, as Inna told while talking about the weather, and so on. The more frequently we provide opportunities for our young and very young learners to share about their daily experience or opinions, the more they feel connected. They feel connected to the content and value the community that helps them to reduce stress and encourage kids motivation to use the target language for communication. And the target language for communication, in our case, it was English. And there was not a question for children what language they needed to talk in order to communicate with each other. for them it was quite clear that that was English and only English. So, and finally, as I told you, anyway, we need to ensure successful online education. How can we do it? I've got a selection of some, maybe for me, the most commonly requested elements in order to ensure the successful online education. So, as I told, no doubt, children learn language through meaningful practice and exposure. But doing school at home can be quite a challenge. And in order to help parents and teachers to organize their online learning in the most beneficial way, I have selected these following requested elements. So the first element is absolutely a basic technical meeting before their first online English lesson. We need to unite with parents and kids online before we are having the first meeting. We need to try how to use Zoom. We need to try different elements. We need to be sure that our connection is just good. Anyway, we even need to try the place where we need to put our laptop, our computer, and just have a look. Our kids, can they see the screen? And also while walking around, running around, or I don't know, even just being in the same room, but they need to have the access. And even for my baby, for example, who was 11 and almost 1 year old, for me, absolutely, I needed him also to see the screen. And from time to time, actually, he came and he wanted to touch some, I don't know, some toys that other children showed us. So that's why basic technical meeting is absolutely requested. If not, you have no time during your first real language class to just spend your time and actually waste your time for this technical part. The second element here, it's you can laugh a little bit, but anyway, it's not funny because it's a list of simple rules for the family members how to behave themselves while their toddlers are learning online. Because toddlers, again, they are not supposed to be just stuck to a computer, but they are supposed to be in the same room with all the communication online that is going on. And if a daddy, and we had such experience, and from my part, I had such experience too, if a daddy comes to see what's going on, the kid absolutely just turns his or her head, sees daddy, and after that, there is no more question to be concentrated on something else. Or even the worst situation, I don't know, just Grady who opens the door and who asks, would you like to eat something? Or just or something else. So absolutely, it's out out of question, and we need to control it. So that's why we need to unite all members of the family and explain what to do during this hour, only 1 hour, while your kid needs actually to be in one room and to be just with other people online, but anyway, to feel this kind of communication. And it's okay if your kid just goes away. Yeah, if he needs a wee, I'm sorry, it might happen. But the concentration should be anyway in one space. And the first element I would like to point out is, of course, the presence of a proficient ESL instructor who has high levels of real face-to-face classroom communication. What I mean while just talking about the high level of real face-to-face communication, and why do we need it while talking just about online education? From one point of view, we could say, okay, it's quite easy. I don't know, we're online, so we don't need to control what's going on outside of your computer. Just, I don't know, you are sitting, maybe you are showing some pictures, you are making some tests, but it's absolutely not our story. Why it's not our story? Because we are not talking about different platforms where kids just, they need you to choose something. We are talking about just the real environment for communication. And for communication, we need to understand what's going on the other side, at least just on the other side of your computer. And at this very moment, we realize that from time to time, it's absolutely just, it's not possible to have a look at the face of the kid. Maybe the kid just is in the corner. That's the case of my son, for example. He likes to be in the corner because he sees everybody from the corner. He can also play there, but the instructor can't see him. So it's a kind also, I don't know, a kind of inner feeling, a kind of just an eye that opens, that you need to feel. Can you talk to the kid right now, even if you can't see him? And from time to time, even worse, you can't hear them. Even you can't hear what's going on because just it's a time story. And for example, the instructor is telling a story. So here, if you don't have such experience as a teacher who works in a real class, you just, that feeling should be trained. That's what I say. That's nothing, of course, nothing to say bad about teachers who are just at the beginning of their career. Okay, I just want to tell that maybe not with the kids, at least not with young learners, not with very young learners. Try to train, I don't know, from 5 years old to 7 also, it's really hard. When we're talking about young kids, you should feel what your children are doing, and you should predict the kind of prediction of their actions. And you feel the moment, and you feel the moment you see the guy turns the head and you say, okay, just can you look through the window? What's the weather like today? Okay, what could they see? And I can see that it's windy. No, it's not windy, it's snowy, and so on. So that's why the higher level of real face-to-face classroom communication, this kind of experience is absolutely necessary for the instructor. And the instructor should have this high level. And finally, I would like to precise the fourth element in my list, in the list of the most common requested elements to ensure successful online communication. And this element is a rather long-term contact between all members of the online group in the offline real world. Here, let me just again tell about my own experience. I'm absolutely sure that if we are talking about a group, at least 60% of the group, they should meet in real world. They should know each other. They should understand that in front of them, the real people. They should also just imagine their physical proportions also. Just it's absolutely necessary not to mix up the real world with the world of cartoons, or I don't know, or moving figures or moving people on the screen. So for all children who took part in this online course, we met each other in real life. We met each other in real world. Even my sons, they were in Samara, they were in Russia, and for them, all these people. So my son calls actually all these people my friends, and he knows them, and he knows also moms, their names, and for him, each just time he sees all these people online, for him it's a real opportunity to meet his friends. And of course, to stay motivated, because when you meet somebody you want to see, of course, you need to share. What do you want to share? You want to share your daily experience. Why you share your daily experience, and what language do you use while sharing your daily experience? If you can use English to share your daily experience when you are 4 years old, it means that you are a bilingual kid. You just do it as you do it using your native language, and that's the point. Even if we're talking about the target language like ESL, just ESL target language English. So that's why even when I think about possibility to organize, just I don't know, just a possibility to organize another group online, to organize another group of children, I'm absolutely sure that if we have such possibility, it's better to see and meet each other in real world. If we can't unite now and have a group of 5, 6, 10 people as we used to have it, at least, I don't know, in pairs, meet each other, look at each other, even with a distance of 2 meters, if you want to, but just if it's possible, at least 60% of each online group, we need to try to meet in normal offline world, to not to feel that it's not real, that it's a world, I don't know, just technical world without any soul. So here we go. And I guess it's time to make a kind of conclusion. And to conclude our story, I would like to say that teaching English to young learners and very young learners online can be seen as one of the keys to enrich their life, while there is such a COVID-19 lockdown, to encourage their motivation to use the target language, that is English in our case, and to provide daily opportunities to feel connected, to their peers. They don't see each other. So, and here they feel connected and they've got communication. And I repeat, of course, maybe something that just everybody is thinking at this moment, that there is nothing like a real face-to-face human communication. I'm all for that. But in the current situation of the COVID-19 lockdown, the intensive forms of social distancing, and unfortunately, a great possibility of having the second wave that might come, online education encourages a healthy work-life balance for our kids. So thank you very much for being together with us today. Thank you, Inna. Thank you, Yulia, for sharing
Thanks,
your
Iness.
ideas
Thank
Yeah.
you.
and opinions. And if you have, guys, our participants, if you have any questions or maybe suggestions, our lovely phrase is 1, 2, 3. Don't hesitate
Hesitate
to
to
contact us
us
at any time.
anytime. Yeah.
Goodbye, everybody. Bye bye.
Bye bye.